Odell Beckham Jr. is the Dennis Rodman of the NFL. And when if Dennis Rodman had ever been one of the highest paid players in the NBA, Dennis Rodman would have been even more of a nightmare. I don't think this is going to bring out the best in OBJ. I don't think – there's guys that play because they love the game, and there's guys that play because they love the money and the attention. Odell Beckham Jr. loves the money and attention. This contract, in my view, will be a mistake.
Well, obviously, we'll find out sooner or later, but I agree with you. Money doesn't make you any worse of a person or better, it just makes you more of who you really are. And what we've seen of Odell over the past 4 years, yeah, he's got that emotional roller coaster. But one thing that happened to him last year, with that injury, I think that kind of changes your perspective. Like knowing that this game can be taken away from you at any second. I'm hoping, just like Mr. Mars said there, that he has learned some lessons now. And with that money, maybe he will start to change. People change now. You got to give him a chance. He is a young kid living in New York.
But not with $95 million in their pocket, they don't.
$95 million.
I feel like he's going to mature. Like he said, the injury, it really set on him, and he realized that, you know what, this game is short. And, you know, he needs to go in there and do everything that he needs to do to maximize the benefits of playing this game. And right now, I think this is a step for him that he was looking to get, and he's going to go out there. I think he's going to do everything he said he's going to do. He's going to be more of a leader, and he's going to prove them right.
All right, listen, I'm not saying you and him are best friends because I don't know if y'all even know each other. But just when you look across, when you examine OBJ, does he?
I'm not looking at the past. I'm looking at what I want to get from him in the future. Right now,
do you think he loves the game the way you love the game?
Yeah.
Why?
Dude, you see him out there putting up the numbers. You don't go out there and just put up the numbers because you want to have the show. You got to put that time in the offseason to be able to go out there and do that. It's not guys out there that's putting in the time and the work. I know a lot of people, me and him have a lot of the same body work people. I mean, he's doing a lot of the things that he needs to do to make sure he accelerates his game year in and year out.
And Tony told me, you saw him up at UCLA, right? At some point, like, Odell Beckham's working his butt off. Let's give him some credit, okay? This guy's only 25 years old. And I know I've been negative about Odell for about a year now. He blocked me on social media. I went through that whole thing.
No, we didn't.
Hey, I'm keeping it real. I'll be completely honest with you guys.
What world are we living in right now?
I will say this. I'm going to say this. His idol, he said it many times, LeBron James is his idol. You guys remember LeBron early in his career was dancing on the sidelines, had all these antics, and opponents really didn't like it. And they started to call him out. And LeBron changed his tune when he got to Miami, grew up a little bit, cut the dancing, started winning. I think Odell's close to that. I don't know if the Giants are going to be winning anything anytime soon, but this is a guy, I think, 25? Yeah. 25 in New York City. It's time to be a leader. He's now a target, Whitlock. When he goes out in the streets, he's a target.
Just help me out here. And maybe I'm just an old fuddy-duddy, and I'm just yelling. It's the hair, man. I just take that. I don't get it. I don't get the blonde hair.
I done got used to it. At first, I'm like, why? I'm like, you know, that's just Odell. That's the way these.
But it's
younger
helped him. He's now one of the most popular players in the league.
He's working. You see kids doing that. Like I got the Odell.
No. I do. I see kids doing it, and they look lost to me. They look lost. Anytime.
You're getting old, man. You're getting old.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, you're getting old.
I think it's starting to shift.
Because that is, everybody, it's all about the brand nowadays. You got to, how much,
that hair helped him get that Nike contract.
Yes,
okay?
You're going to get contracts, and you're even talking about it, the world, it's all social media now. And you see how sensitive he was. He got blocked.
Yeah. It hurt. It stung me, man.
You can't have
hurt.
that.
Come on.
It's a new dawn, new day. It's not how it was with us.
And look, I may get in trouble for this, but blonde hair on a brother, man, it just don't add up to me.
Blonde hair on a sister don't add up to you?
That's a different conversation. It's a different conversation.
You saying it can't go both ways?
I don't understand it, man. I'm just sorry. My father wouldn't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't know anybody that understands.
He's secure enough in his manhood, his masculinity.
That's not about masculinity. I just don't understand. It's just too much for me. To me, when I look at the press conference, like he spent more time on his hair than worrying about football, and that's a guy to me that's more of a Kardashian, more of an entertainer than a great football player.
Hold on. How can you say worrying about football? He's shown up. He didn't hold out like some of the other receivers did. He's shown up and put in the work.
To get his money. To get the money. Now that he's got the money, let's see what Odell does. And I just don't think money doesn't bring out the best in people. It just exposes what we've already been seeing, from the boat party to the proposing to the kicking net to the drops in the playoffs. I just don't. I see a guy that seized an opportunity, did his little highlight catch. He's a brand more than a football player. I give my money to great football players, not great brands. This reminds me of when John Gruden first got to Oakland. He wasn't on board with my quarterback, Jeff George. And Jeff George had a tremendous season, 29 TDs, 9 interceptions the year before, threw for almost 4,000 yards, was terrific. John Gruden shows up, and they couldn't get together. John Gruden shows up now, Khalil Mack, and it's like a guy that goes to prison. I'm going to punch out the toughest guy in prison and take control of this whole situation. That's what I think he's trying to do here. Hopefully it works. He may have picked the fight with the wrong guy. They don't have many great defensive players. He needs to find some peace with Khalil Mack. We got very little time here, but what are your guys' thoughts?
Well, real quick, I think with Gruden, Gruden is that throwback coach. Okay, this guy is that crotchety, just rough, crusty guy, and he wants things done his way, and he's trying to set the tone. I think this is exactly what that is. They need Khalil Mack, though. Khalil Mack is the guy that if they don't have him, their season is going to go down the drains.
You talk about coming in and changing the culture. That's what he's talking about. But here's the deal. You don't change the culture without your best player being on board. And you look at that draft class, 2014, Derek Carr on that team has gotten a new contract. Blake Bortles just got a new contract. Odell Beckham Jr. just got a new contract. Aaron Donald's about to get a contract. Jimmy Garoppolo got a new contract. Devontae Freeman got a new contract. Mike Evans got a new contract. Sammy Watkins. There's an argument that Khalil Mack's better than any of those players right now. And you're saying we drafted a guy, he's been all-pro. He was all-pro at 2 different positions, D-end and linebacker, first ever.
And linebacker.
Yeah, and we're not going to pay that guy? Like, you want to change the culture? That's not going to change the culture in the locker room. That's going to make the players mad.
They got to find some way to open up communication again and get this ball rolling. Like you said, that's arguably one of the best players in the league on defense right now, and you have to have him to have a successful season.
We have been having a discussion, James. You're the perfect person to ask. Earlier in the week, last week, defensive players, to me, are struggling to get their money like the league is devaluing the great defensive player. Do you feel that?
Well, right now, it's an offensive league. So, I think these teams, they're trying to spend their money on offense. You can't hit a quarterback. You can't hit a receiver. And almost with the helmet rule they got now, you can't even tackle nobody. So, they want to pay the guys that's making all the scoring all the points, so to speak. It may be a little bit of a devaluation.
Had James had the misfortune of playing in the Mid-American Conference the same time as I would, I would have walked up on him first. He the first guy would have taken out to establish control.
First round, first pick of 2001 draft if I got 4 years against him.